nigga be crystal, babe. Yeah, hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take your girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at teach, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass me poking. Sitting in the front, cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.
Y'all ready to go?
Let's do it.
Trump, how you feeling today?
Feeling good, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. You got, what is that, a checkered scotch and soda?
Well, that's a good brand.
Yeah, you know.
This nigga, he shot
Good
all
limit.
his spend. He give all them white
Taco
people all his
meat up.
money.
Yeah.
You love giving white people your money. All these black brands out here you be talking about promoting. You go right to the white people with your money.
now.
How much money you done spent with these white folk?
Nigga, I stay with Best I Fly on, Vinny's, Paulie's, Il Corp. You know, come on, man. I support the homies. What you got on this black on?
Nigga, let me ask you these sweatpants right here. By the way, you just said all of this shit that you said you spend all your money with them, right? You spend $20 on t-shirts with them. That shirt costs about $140. So that one shirt costs more.
I shop at the outlet. I get it for
Yeah.
60% off.
I'm fucking around, my brother. You know I know what you do for the community. Cream.
Yes.
Welcome back. What's shaking, man? Out
I'm
here.
back. This is the third time.
Yeah.
Third time's
well,
the charm.
we fuck with you here. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
We know we sit somebody there, they gotta have strong energy. And I was thinking about different people. I was like, and then when Chelsea was like, well, I know it's pretty soon for Cream to come back. I was like, Cream. Cream. Perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Cream seems to be on the world tour, so let's do it.
Yeah, I see you everywhere.
Yeah.
I see you everywhere.
It's a lot happening.
We were talking about Wu-Tang
Okay.
before that we turned the things on, right? And I was saying how much I hate the actor, the RZA.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rihanna's baby.
Oh, okay. Yes. Shout out.
Let's see
to
what I went
The
with
other
that.
reason.
Yes.
I do hate his acting. Y'all said y'all like Davies as Method Man.
Yes.
Trump said that.
Y'all know I hate Method Man.
Why you hate Method Man? Why do we hate Method Man? What is happening?
It's almost like this thing I made up. I have no problem with Method Man. It's almost like not having a problem with Virgos. I don't really have a problem with Virgos, but I hate Virgos. It's a thing. I chose an enemy. I'm staying there.
Alright, cool. Fuck it.
So I was thinking about the acting on Power Ghost. I don't know if either one
Yeah,
of
the
y'all
acting
watch
is fucking terrible.
it. Do you watch
I
Power?
haven't seen this season.
Do you
Don't.
remember Tariq?
Yes.
Do you remember Mary J as
Yeah,
Monet?
of course.
The Diana, the daughter. Bobby Brown as Kane.
Bobby Brown.
The white boy
Uh-huh.
as little Tommy. You know, did you see the last 2 episodes?
So I was watching a little bit of the last episode before I left.
They trying to make
Him be
into
like,
Tommy.
yeah, it's not gonna work.
But he actually did something in it to foreshadow him becoming Tommy later. Even though he's
And you know
not
they
really
actually
supposed to
have
be
like they don't like each other in
Yeah,
real
they gotta
life.
beef.
Yeah, they got a
beef.
beef in real life.
Oh, Tommy and
Tommy,
and
yeah,
the other dude?
Tommy and the little
Really?
dude.
You know what's funny? When I told you last time that I ain't watched the season, I was like, yo, don't spoil it for me. He was like, spoil it? This shit's like a cartoon. I was like, yo, that's true. You can't really spoil a stupid ass show.
Now, something that was really funny was I saw someone say that the show was really good before they let the Wakanda people come in.
Oh my God.
They said the show was good, and then you brought in this, and it just was like, all right, this don't even make it realistic. This
What?
is stupid.
Yeah, what?
Forget
Why
it.
did they
Yeah,
do that?
what's going on here? So they got like this. You haven't watched the latest season, so they got some new characters on, and they're basically they are English, but they're also African, and then so that's why I guess the reference to Wakanda.
It's a lot of reaching.
Yeah. It's scenarios that's never gonna happen. Like where you get a CIA badge from, and all of a sudden sneak in a building through a roof and then climb out the window. It's like, all right, be for real. You know what I'm saying?
You're, what, 17?
What's that?
Where's Tariq? He's still in high school, right?
No, he's
No,
in
he's in
college.
college.
Is that college?
Yeah, all of them in college.
So what is he?
21 probably.
And he's fooling everybody, Tariq? I hate it. It's still a good show. It keeps my attention. I'll sit there and watch the shit.
And that's the thing. Yeah, it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Well, that's what I said about the Wu-Tang shit. I hate the acting, but I watched every episode because I was already invested. It was like, I know this shit is going to piss me off, but I'm going to sit here and watch it, even though I know it's going to be trash.
I like Power more than I like Wu-Tang.
Yes.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the history. Maybe it's nostalgia at this point. We've been watching this shit for what? 8 years?
We've been watching it
We've
for
been
a
watching
minute.
Power for a long time. It's like Days of Our Lives now. It's like all my children.
And that's what it seems like, because it's the made up storylines and stuff that doesn't make fucking sense, but you're still going to tune
gonna
in
watch
at
it.
12 in the afternoon. And pay
So we had
attention.
this conversation about acting.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't watched this season, so it's going to be hard for you to weigh in. I'm pretty sure you don't have it in your forefront of your head to say, okay, which one did you really like? But I'll ask Kareem, and maybe you can chime in.
Mm-hmm.
Best actor, actress on Power right now.
Damn, right now.
Now we got Tariq, we got Kane, we got Monet, we got Drew, we got Diana,
All right, so I hate that this has to be
Waden,
my
Jaden,
answers.
Hayden. What's his name? White boy.
Okay, whatever.
The white boy. The white friend.
Um,
The cop. Sax. Cooper.
okay.
That's where I'm gonna stop it at. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
Your arch nemesis.
I forgot about him. And Method Man.
So I hate that my answer is gonna be Kane.
I don't mind Kane.
The reason I hate it is because, you know, I'm very like, you
Pro-black?
you say something against black women, and I'm just like, I hate you for life now. So
Oh right.
his tweets resurfaced
That was
about
from 2014.
I-
You know what your tweets look like? In 2014?
crazy, which is why I deleted
So
them.
how could you? But you can't say
Look, that's
nothing.
why we scrubbed them bitches clean.
I don't even know if I scrubbed. So what did you do? You stopped it at a certain year, and everything before that is gone.
Nah, I deleted the whole account. Get out of here. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I looked and I was like, wait, it's too much.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have been pressing delete forever. I was like,
I
yeah,
tried to
just
do
gonna
that.
start
I
off
went.
fresh.
I did the F bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I put in double. I put black woman in there.
Mm-hmm.
I tried everything I could think of. Gay, black
Yeah.
woman, F bomb. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and that's one thing I
But
will
we was
say.
tweeting with no responsibility. We didn't even care. What
That
happened?
too, but also, you know, I think a lot of us just weren't educated in a lot of things and didn't have experience in inclusiveness. You know what I mean? Like we talked about that before.
Or sensitivity training. We
Yeah,
like,
that
at this
too.
point we think about a lot of things that people are sensitive
We
about.
view people as people a lot more. Before, especially, you know, with certain communities, we didn't view them as equal.
All right, let's get back to the acting shit.
Yeah,
We'll get
that's
back
fine.
into that. We'll get back into that. Kane, even though there's an asterisk
Yeah.
next to it,
Yeah, I prefer him
because you don't like Woody.
Yes. There we go.
But the acting that Woody's doing as Kane you're
It's
a fan.
phenomenal. I think it's good.
Is he best improved or he's just the best actor? Most improved or best actor? Let's ask this into. Oh God,
What happened?
no, because somebody said Method Man. I'm sorry, I didn't even read it. I just.
Oh,
saw
he
Method
said
Man.
because
I
he's
was like,
sexy as fuck.
But is he?
Don't ask me. I like ugly men.
I feel like I'm sexy. Nobody's ever seen. Some people say you like ugly men.
Don't ask me. Like everybody that always was like, "Yo, I love Nas. I love these people." I'm like,
Too cute.
okay.
Too pretty.
Yeah, it
He's
wouldn't
not
work.
giving you killer energy.
It wouldn't work for me.
You probably like Nas, Brother Jungle.
I met Jungle actually.
I see. He was.
No, we're not going to do that, please. Lord have mercy.
The reason I brought it up,
Yeah.
is because everybody was saying that they like Method Man, his acting. I was disgusted. I was disgusted.
You
I'll
gonna
tell you.
keep that
Where's
beef
my camera?
going.
I was disgusted by the choices of you women out here. You once again are the architects of your own demise because you're letting your pussy do the talking for you. You don't like Method Man's acting. You like his arms. You like his beard. You like his voice. This nigga can't act. Did you see the drunk scene on the roof?
Yeah, that was
What are you
terrible.
talking- What are you doing?
That was terrible.
Oh, well, he went to go get the gun. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Oh, you didn't watch this. Sorry, I'm spoiling.
That's all good.
No, he didn't watch the whole season, so forget the last episode.
It's just like, y'all make it. This is your pussy talking. Which I do like. I like pussy. I like pussy.
Like,
Oh, it's hard.
talk.
So sorry.
Anyway.
But Method Man, Toro, have you watched this?
What is going on? I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Let's time out for a second. Let's be clear. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not from Long Island. I do not sound like Mouse. That's my brother, though. We love him. And when I mean ugly, I don't mean Flavor Flav ugly. Let's all be the fuck for real for a second.
She's actually talking to the Discord.
I'm sorry.
She forgot she's on a podcast. She's
Like, that just pissed me off. Like, are you from Long Island? It's like, hold on. Let's just clear this right the fuck out.
Disrespect me. I will find. Yo, she will find y'all. I'm just letting you know, this is a different one. I'd be careful with this one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Discord is up. The Zoom is up, and our Discord VIP members are here watching us.
And they think I'm from Long Island, apparently.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never heard that in my life.
Well, Mouse says he's from Brooklyn, so I think that they blow Mouse up because he always says he's from Brooklyn. He's like,
now he's from gentrified Brooklyn because he got a couple dollars.
Ooh.
He's not from Brooklyn.
Mouse is a gentrifier.
He's a migrant.
Okay, look, they making sure that they say sorry now too. All right, well, that's how I felt about that. Let me see what I got my notes on.
That's what you felt about Method Man.
I think he was a horrible. I think his acting is horrible in this show. I think the most improved to me would be Mary, even though I've always thought that she was a horrible actress as far as this Monet.
She's kind of dry.
Nigga, them last two episodes, the leaked episodes, she was. I believe that shit.
Really?
She pulled that shit. She pulled the acting from somewhere real on those last two episodes for me.
Yeah. She's growing, like you can see that she's had like a whole rebirth, like just at life. So she's definitely.
I always thought the acting was better on the other Power show, Raising Kanan.
Oh, love that show. But I think they got real actors on that show.
Yeah.
Like with this show, it's a bunch of people that they threw in. You know what I'm saying? Mary J. You got the whole All I Need cast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bobby Brown, everybody. No, Bobby Brown is good though.
Who y'all think leaked the episodes of Power?
Woody. I'm only saying that because he don't like black
I know
women.
50 leaked them shits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He don't care about the ratings for stars. He just want them to know, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, huh?
Oh, okay.
Little Meech.
that's funny.
All right. Let's get into some real topics. Y'all ready to exercise y'all brains and shit?
Sure.
Blah. I was scrolling through the internet. I'm going to get real serious real quick.
Okay. Put on my serious.
Let's put on serious hats. Daniel, what's his name? Penny?
A Perry, is it?
Daniel,
I think
let me
it's
see
Perry.
if I have the thing. He is the guy, ex-Marine, that is being celebrated by white America, by racist white America. I can't even say they're racist. I don't know if they're racist. But they definitely raised $2.6 million for his legal fund because they're saying that he's a good Samaritan and he killed somebody in self-defense. How do y'all feel about that?
John, you want to go first for our rant?
I knew that was going to happen.
I'm not surprised. It doesn't shock me. But it's wild that they could actually look at it as being a good Samaritan and self-defense. Like, nigga, what story is y'all reading? Like, what are you talking about? How is that self-defense?
Well, what's the young man who passed away's name?
Oh, man.
I can't
now
remember.
we really
Neely?
look uneducated.
Right.
Is that his name?
What'd you say?
Neely?
Yes, Jordan
Neely.
Neely.
Yes.
What did he do? What was?
So apparently he was on the train shouting how he was hungry, he needed his food, he needed stuff to drink. When you from New York, that's so common, right?
regular.
We just ignore them folk, like, or we provide them with something to drink or something to eat. So obviously seeing him, anyone with some common motherfucking sense would have just knew that this person is distraught, they're in need, they're either having a mental health breakdown or something like that. So the self-defense thing, if you just want to go by the law, New York don't have self-defense laws. So right then and there, that cancels that out. If you want to discard everything that was morally done wrong, New York don't have a self-defense law. So nobody give a fuck what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? We know a brother personally who was being attacked and defended himself and ended up, he's the one, being in trouble for that. So that's not valid all in itself.
Wow, that's crazy. We know somebody that was attacked by several people.
By several people. and
something bad happened to one of them,
and something happened,
and now he's in trouble.
and he's
for
the
it.
one punished for it. You know what I'm saying? Because New York basically says if someone is attacking you, even if it is deadly, you are to retreat and find the police. The police that do not solve 94% of the crimes that are reported in this city. So 6% of crimes that are reported within New York City, the police actually solve, and they respond to crime. They don't prevent crime. So that's just that.
Facts.
So back to Jordan, you have this man on the train who's distraught, you know, going through a mental health episode and things like that. And people are saying that, yes, he's screaming and what have you. But again, there was no need for you to place your hands on this person because this person was not an immediate threat to you or nobody else around you.
Okay.
So one sister that I saw made a great point. They said this is another factor of gentrification within our city. We don't realize how many dominoes fall in each step, right? So again, what I'm saying about the gentrification is people that are native New Yorkers know, I don't give a fuck. This man screaming, hollering, this, that, and the third, he gonna go about his business. I'm gonna either give him an apple if I have one, and if I give him an apple, he might call me a bitch because he really don't want an apple. And you still gonna go on with your day and your train ride. We see it. But folks that do not belong here and come here because they think it's the big city and they need to be here, they come here with a sense of entitlement. Right? Because they've already, you think about it again, you talking about white folks that have a sense of entitlement just because they are born in a world that caters and coddles them. Now you have somebody coming into the city that says, I need to be the manager of the train. And he wanted to be the HR department. So he wanted to save the train from harm that wasn't happening. And now you have a young man that was dead. And come to find out, he was a street performer and all these kind of things that were beautiful. And he now doesn't have a life because somebody wanted to not mind their business.
I'm going to take it a step further. Even if Jordan Neely did put hands on somebody, you don't have to murder the man. You could restrain him,
Right.
put him in a chokehold for 2 minutes, not 15 minutes. Like, you don't have to murder the man. Like, it was completely uncalled for, even if he was more aggressive.
I'm going to take it a step further. As a Marine, you've been trained.
Right.
Your hands and the skills that you have
It's a weapon.
you're a weapon.
Yeah.
And you should know lethal force versus restraining force.
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be able to say, I can do this move. I did it. I was a crisis interventionist with children that had special needs. They would be having episodes and I would come in and physically restrain them, but not in a way that would harm them. Right? So it would be times where I would bring them to the ground and sit with them and just talk to them and have them calm down. If that, you can do stuff like that. But like you said, as a Marine, you know the difference between something that's going to take somebody out or something that's going to calm them down and have them to the police come or whoever you think is going to come.
Now, my problem with it is we're using the words Marine in one way, but it's being used for the people supporting him in another. They're saying he's a national hero. He has the authority because he has already been a civil servant. I don't know if they're a civil servant, whatever, a soldier, that he would be the one right under the police to respond to a situation like that in any other circumstance. A soldier or something like that would probably step up. And I'm like, am I bugging or did he not kill somebody?
Right.
Like, he killed somebody. That's okay. We can just pick and choose who kills who.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Is there ever going to be a time when a black person would kill somebody, a white person, and it's okay? Do you think that they would support us? So I'm one. This is all racial, right? The reason I asked was if they're racist. Is if are the people who are supporting him just because he's white, even if they don't realize they're supporting him just because he's white, based on the equation that I just brought up, if black people wouldn't do it to white people, are they racist?
I would say a good majority of them are, and some of them are just falling for the okie doke. Because the okie doke is Republicans, they like to play on people's fear. And that's something that DeSantis is really good at, and Trump was really good at, the law and order thing. So a lot of white people that may not be, I don't know, maybe not racist in their everyday life, they have certain fears, and an aggressive black man might be a fear of theirs, and they respect law and order, they respect the police, they respect the military and things like that. So if you pose the two against each other, an aggressive black man versus our service person, and you pose it in that way, like Good Samaritan, then a person that could easily be duped be like, yeah, let's support the Good Samaritan, without understanding how racist that is. You know what I mean?
Is it racist if you don't understand it? If you're just doing it because they're supposedly a good Samaritan?
It's still racist. I don't know if the intent is there. I don't know if you like, yeah, fuck niggas. I don't know if that's what you're saying at the dinner table, but it's still.
You think white people are scared of black people as much as black people are scared of white people? Who do you think is scared more scared?
No.
Who do you think is more scared? Black people of white people or white people of black people?
I think white people are more scared because it's a deep, like they have done shit where it's like, it don't even make sense, bro. Like, why are you trying to keep us down? Like, that's some deep-rooted fear, bro. Like, we don't even have that same type of fear towards y'all.
I'm gonna go
I wouldn't call it fear, though. I would say that they know that there's no repercussion for that. So they're actually a lot more fearless in their actions than we are. We're more calculated. Like, we know, oh, man, if I put my hands on him, nobody's coming to save me with $2 million for my, lawyer fees. So you calculated in that, even if it was somebody that you legitimately feared, right? Let's just say you weren't Tahoe and you were fearful of the average person and this person wanted to harm you. You would know that the consequences for you might be higher than, was Perry, right? So their actions, although they're malicious and harmful, they're fearless because they know at the end of the day, they're not going to get held accountable for that shit. And back to are they racist? I think by nature, right? If you look at what they say about our DNA, right? They say our DNA, we have, like, we're born with a certain sense of trauma and PTSD from what our ancestors went through. So you can't tell me that is true for me and that is not true for them, where they have those same genetics that bring along what their ancestors did. So they may not be overtly, like they may not say F y'all and this, that, and the third, but they're all racist because the world has designed it to be that way. The world has coddled them in a space where it's like, okay, you are better than them. And as long as you don't act like them or behave like them, you're good. That's why you got the poor white folks that go and be Republicans because in their mind, they like, well, it's still, even if black people ain't exist no more, guess what? The world will say, at least y'all wasn't no niggas. Right? Even if they got their wish and everybody that was brown, everybody that was black got up off this planet, that's what they would say. Well, at least you ain't get it like the niggas got it. And that's what makes them feel like they have a little bit of leverage over us.
I don't know if that's... I'm not going to say... I don't know if you nailed it. My point is that I think there will always be a class system.
Of course, yeah.
So it's not really about black people, because if it was just white people on the planet, then I guess the Italians would attack the Irish, or I don't know which one is the hierarchy there, but they would start separating, and one of them would now become the niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So there's just a class system, whether it's money, whether it's skin color, whether it's region, whatever it is, there's always going to be that, and it might take time before you a nigga for white people. But I'm pretty sure the Italians would be the
right.
niggas,
So
right?
it wouldn't but then it wouldn't be racist because it wouldn't be based on race. It would be based on class. No, yeah, I understand that. The Portuguese created that. You know what I'm saying? They made that system to, they the ones who started the slave trade and created like you this, you that. Because originally when the slave trade first started, right, there wasn't the concept. Okay, when they brought the Africans on over here, Africans were to mix with the Native Americans, right? And then when that didn't really go too well, they started killing off too many Native Americans. They said, hold on, we got to separate something and make something. That's when race started to come into play.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they were scared that all they had to do was revolt. They needed more people on their side.
Exactly.
So they said, all right, white, black.
Right.
We're all the same.
Okay.
Basically. Am I right? That's what they said. They're more the same than we are. They're in power. We aren't. Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
Okay is wrong.
No, I'm trying to process what you saying.
Don't even worry about it because I don't know. What I will say is, I think black people are more scared of them. You think they're scared of what we could do to them. You think that they're scared of what we could do to them. I don't really think they really that scared. I think that they know, like at the end of the day is, we don't do shit to white people.
Yeah.
Out of fear. You don't see, most times they walk around here, they're not scared of getting robbed and shit, but we'll pop another nigga immediately. for no reason. All of that anger, or whether it's hopelessness, despair, fucking need, necessity, we will not impose that on that dude, white dude. We'll do it to us though.
Yeah.
Immediately. Is that not showing the fact that we are more scared of them than us? Because I'm sure we hate them more than we hate each other.
So that's on the surface, but I'm talking about like institutionally and in general, like Public Enemy said, fear of a black planet. I feel like that's a real thing. Like they are in control of the resources and the money, right? Their fears are different. Their fears are losing what they have control of. And they know that over the course of time, white people are going to be eliminated because when white people and brown people mix, they become brown people. So they know that their days are numbered on this planet. They are afraid. And I feel like there's always been a class system, like you said, but the way that the world has treated black people is totally different than any class system that has ever existed. There's something deep rooted in that. It's almost like a fear of our greatness. So you need to suppress that because I'm afraid of what you can do and what you will do if you actually are the ones that are allowed to achieve your greatness.
I'm kind of afraid of what black people would do if we get in power too.
So, but again, even if there wasn't no black people around, the world already functions at a space where white supremacist ideals is leadership, is at the top, at leadership. So those ideas, even when you say, that's why people from other nationalities and other races conform to whiteness versus conform to blackness, because they will still live on those ideas and uphold those ideals to keep those systems in place. In place. So
what do you mean when you say that? People of other races conform to whiteness instead of blackness.
Okay, so the stereotype of like when they say the Asians are the perfect immigrant. Mm-hmm. So that's because it's like, listen, they came here and look what they're doing, and they're listening, and they're not, protesting, and they're not outraged. They fall in line, right? Same thing. That's why the Irish and Italians love to say, oh, when we came here, we was discriminated. Yeah, I was. But see how whiteness works is like a country club. Whiteness in America, right? It's like a country club. You can be something in another place and come here and be something totally different. And that's why a lot of people, one of the best examples is right now when people be like, oh, I don't understand how Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and Dominicans can vote Republican. Them people is white. When you go to those countries, there are white people, indigenous people, mixed people, and African people. So there's races there. But what happens is when they leave their countries that they lived as a white person, upholding whiteness all of their lives because they are of European descent, they're of Spaniard descent. They come to America and say, oh, I'm white, right? And America say, no, bitch, you not. We're going to take your vote. But we don't fuck with you like that. Go over there with the rest of y'all. And then they get confused as to why it's a different thing. And that's why when you go on job applications, college applications, this, that, and the third, they'll take your numbers as race, but you still got to mark down that you a different ethnicity. You still got to put Hispanic or Latino. So a lot of people get confused. But like I said,
they still treat us like niggas.
But that's because, again, if you think about it, like I said, when you go back to those countries, depending on who you are, how you look, and where your lineage comes from, they are actually white people. We gotta keep not forgetting that the Spanish are white. Just because somebody speaks Spanish doesn't make them any less white. Just because somebody speaks Spanish doesn't make them any less black. It just happens that they were colonized by Spaniards. And that's the language they know now.
So is white more class than skin color?
That's a tricky question. It depends on who is really thinking about it. Because a lot of people say in order to be a certain race, you have to look it. And you also have to,
Because white... Okay, so if you're Spanish, say you come from DR, Hispanic. You come from DR. But you're a lighter Hispanic person in DR versus the darker Hispanic.
You get treated better as a lighter person. The colorism is still there. You still get treated better. If you look at it, like in Puerto Rico in particular, right? You have Louisa, which is primarily all of African descent. And that's the poorest part of Puerto Rico. Why? Because those are the black Puerto Ricans. And then when you go to San Juan, the people that actually live in the main city, these are people who are lighter than me and uphold white supremacy, and their immediate grandfather is directly from Spain. You get what I'm saying? So again, white supremacy, what it does is says, listen, I'm gonna pin y'all against all of y'all, and this is what you are, and this is what you are. So people don't understand. The same way in America we have white, black, everything else. When you go to any island in the Caribbean, it's the same thing. They still have that.
Jesus, that shit hurt just now to think, because I've always wondered why certain Hispanic people align themselves in that way. And what you're saying is they've always identified that.
Right. In the Dominican Republic, I can't remember the dictator's name at this very moment. He was as dark as Melly, right? And no disrespect, that's not okay. He would physically paint himself white.
What?
He would paint himself white. He took out all the black faces out the children's books and replaced it with white pictures and all that stuff because they wanted to weed out and breed out the blackness of the country. Take a country like Argentina. That's the first country in that area, right, in Latin America to effectively clear out all of the blackness out the entire country. There was a huge black African population of slaves. Remember, 95% of the slaves actually went to the Caribbean and Latin America. The United States, remember, only got 5%. In Brazil right now, they have more African lineage than they have the biggest population of African lineage outside of Africa.
In Brazil?
In Brazil.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? That's why they booties be like that?
You know what? I can't.
That's... Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yes. But again, so now you have that, and you have your races.
So I hear what you're saying, and I can't necessarily disagree because I don't know all the facts, but I do know there are going to be some lighter Latinos and darker Latinos.
Yeah.
I do feel, this is without research, that for the most part they're all part of the African diaspora. They could be a little lighter, they could be a little darker. So, for most of these Dominicans, they are from the diaspora.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Is their lineage connected to Spain? Yeah, but
yeah,
we have lineage connected from Haiti to France. But that doesn't mean that we're European. Like, no, we're still part of the diaspora.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like even the lighter Latinos in those countries are still part of the African diaspora, and they just deny it. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of folks that deny it. Again, likeness to whiteness is always equates to what? Rightness. Likeness to whiteness equates to rightness. So regardless, right? Let me tell you something. I remember my best friend told me a while ago, she like, yo, I applaud you sometimes because light as you is, you could sit here and play the game. I could try to lighten up my voice, lighten up my hair, do all them things and not be what I really am, right? I could pass if I wanted to, for real, right? But you have folks that go into that and feed into that. And there's numerous reasons for it.
Nah, fuck that. Go infiltrate. Fuck that. We sending you off. Go infiltrate. Take that voice, whiten that shit up, get in them places, start hiring people. Yes.
But I own 2 businesses and I hire people now.
So fucking delegate. Delegation is real power anyway. We need you up in there, in them systems.
But I'm getting in them systems being myself though.
You don't talk like that anymore.
So goddamn stupid, yo.
What are you talking about?
But no, there's people who take that and, again, it's multiple reasons, right? If you take what would be considered a traditional black person, right? A black American from the South. How many folks only dated lighter skinned folks so that way their kids would be lighter? Oh, yeah. Right? And now you got lighter kids and they have lighter kids and they have shit. That's how I got goddamn. Like, if I show you my nana to my mama to me, you'll be like, well, now I see. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of folks do that for survival too. Because if you think about it, 80 years ago, you down in Mississippi, as a dark-skinned woman, your life is a lot different than it is now. Right. So in your mind, it's like, okay, in order for my kids to have a better life, I would want them to dress this way or look this way, this, that, and the third. Some people stop at a little bit, but some people take it too far, where they actually look at the Cubans down in Miami. There's white people that just say hola. Them is white people, okay? The brother that got locked up for January 6th is dark as you, and he's a Cuban, and he runs the Proud Boys, which is a white supremacist organization. You get what I'm saying? But they take it to that space because they feel like if I align myself with whiteness, I'm going to be all right.
Isn't DeSantis Cuban or something?
DeSantis is a first-generation Italian.
Oh, okay.
His grandparents came here, and then he was born here.
Gotcha.
So, again, boom. Like I was saying about the Irish and the Italians, what they said, oh, we came here, we was discriminated against, and guess what? As soon as the door opened and the white people said, you could be white now, y'all asses ran down there and called you a moolie and a monkey and sent you on your way and ain't look back.
Porch monkey.
Right? Because again...
That's a fire diss.
That's a what?
Yo, they were creative, son.
Yeah.
A porch monkey?
They called me a porch
crazy.
monkey when I was a kid. I'll never forget it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How did that make you feel? Did you laugh?
I definitely did not laugh.
Did you know what it was?
I knew that it was an insult.
Great. That's what I meant
Get
to
the
say.
fuck
It's a
out of
fire
here, you
insult.
porch monkey. Like, there's no...
Where did you get
Right, I would have hit it.
Where were you
That's
at?
making me so mad.
When I
right
went to elementary school, I went to a mostly predominantly white. So this is back, I'm old, right? So in the 80s, Canarsie, anybody that knows Brooklyn knows Canarsie is like a black neighborhood now. It used to be like Italian and Jewish. So I went to elementary school in Canarsie, all Italian neighborhood for the most part. And yeah, I was outside playing baseball with my friends. I'm like in the fucking 4th grade. What do I know about playing with white kids? Big deal, right? They was like, get out of here, you fucking porch monkey. I looked around. I was like, oh shit, they talking to me.
That's crazy. I'm
Never
so
forget
sorry you
that.
had to go through that.
Porch monkey
Fucking porch monkey.
is disgusting, but funny as shit. All right.
He's such an asshole.
You mentioned Governor DeSantis,
Mm-hmm.
and I was also.
He actually got my
again.
Twitter suspended one time.
He did?
You said something. In
I said something to him, and then my shit clipped immediately.
Oh, wow.
Like, don't go
That
against the
fast.
big homie.
Governor Ron DeSantis signs bill to defund diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at public colleges and universities in Florida. The governor signed a bill that will prevent the universities and colleges within the state from spending money on diversity, blah, blah, blah programs. The bill will also limit how race can be discussed within the classroom. According to the Washington Post, DeSantis spoke during a news conference and said, if you look at the way this has actually been implemented across the country, DEI is better viewed as standing for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination, and that has no place in our public institutions. This bill says the whole experiment with DEI is coming to an end in the state of Florida. That's supposed to be, DEI is supposed to be diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Mm-hmm. Under this new law, public colleges will not be able to spend federal or state money on DEI efforts. It also prevents the colleges from offering courses that distort significant historical events, teach identity politics, or are based on theories that systematic racism, sexism, oppression, and or privilege are inherent in the institutions of the United States and were created to maintain social, political, or economic inequities.
I'm going to say, first and foremost, Florida is failing. He's running that whole state into the ground.
It's Florida.
Huh? No, but he's running it into the ground. Let it go, though. So if you black in Florida, please, if you can, because I know this is a privileged answer, leave that state. There's no reason for us to be in that state at all. That is a safe haven for...
What are they... So, my thing is this, right? First of all, what is this called? The thing that they're fighting.
Diversity?
No, the thing that they're saying, they keep saying, we don't want that here anymore.
Critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is critical race theory?
So critical race theory is different depending on the education level, right? So it's simply just, I wouldn't say simply because I don't want to make it seem like it's just like this little thing, but it's just genuinely, teaching how systems are developed, how they're ran, all of that stuff. And again, just like any other school program, it has particular grade levels that it's supposed to meet, right? So it's not like you're going to take a kindergartner and be like, the world is racist, you're white, you're a bad person. You're not going to do that. It's going to have actual things that are age appropriate per level and just teach the fucking facts.
So is it an agenda? Critical race theory?
No.
Well, what are they scared of? What do they see?
They scared because the people that can be exposed is in the White House. They on Congress. They in the Senate. They're Ron DeSantis. So them pictures is still out there. The information is still out there. The neighbor that's 93 years old. The bitch that lied on Emmett Till just died. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So these people are still very much around. And when you start saying, hey, Martha. Oh Lord, I was gonna say Martha Stewart, not Martha Stewart, yeah. But Martha Green is, the person in this picture. Now you start to unfold a lot of the, peel back a lot of the truths, and people don't want them truths coming out.
That's the big thing.
And like you said, they fear us being in power. So now because they know what they would do and how they move. They think by us teaching our children the truth about themselves, that's gonna make them revolt and say, all right, we're gonna burn all of this shit down.
What all of this is saying to me is that white people don't want to be uncomfortable, and the truth of their state, that this country is very uncomfortable for white folks to deal with, and for little Jimmy in kindergarten class, you don't want to make him feel uncomfortable for what his ancestors did. But the problem is they're trying to erase history and change history and omit history because you don't want white people to feel uncomfortable. But white people have never been accountable. Our country has never been accountable for anything. Any of the wrongdoings, have never tried to reverse it, has never done any reparations for it. And now they just want to act like it never fucking happened because it's too uncomfortable for us to talk about. And that's wild. Do
you think that that's really what their reasoning is? That it's uncomfortable? I believe that's what their deep-rooted reasoning is. They're not going to label that. They're going to say that, it's going to cause inequities, like now it's going to cause kids to look at each other according to the race. They could paint the picture however they want to paint it. Like, you could put a different spin on whatever. But deep down, it's like, what's really the problem?
They're going to have to feel like
you don't want to talk about what really happened? We can't talk about what really happened.
There are some people that say that black people spend too much time thinking about the past.
Well, if the past is current, say that. If the past is current, then what are we talking about?
Akon.
Akon is not a black American.
Akon is a fool.
Akon is not a black American, and Akon had equity in his place in Africa and sold it to the Chinese. So if he would look in the mirror and understand that he sold himself to his people, to the Chinese people, we could end that discussion there. With that hairline.
I didn't have much to say. Come on, don't check my hairline.
No, with his hairline, child, not yours. But see, that's the difference too, right? And of course, I love the diaspora. I'm part of, Black American and Caribbean and Latin descent. But we gonna be real for a second. The Black American experience is unique.
Absolutely.
So when all these other people from all these other countries, just because they black, think they could chime in, you need to simmer down a little bit. Because if you don't have ancestry from here, your perception of our day in and day out realities is skewed and different. There's a lot of places around the world that grow up that are being told one thing about black Americans. Then you come here and you're like, oh shit, we learned this about y'all. It's like, that's not what happened. Mm-hmm. So you don't even know the full truth, and that's no disrespect to nobody, but understand that when any other country has a problem, any other ethnicity and nationality has a problem, y'all open up and y'all hear them. But as soon as black Americans specifically say something, oh, y'all need to shut up, y'all always doing this, y'all always doing that. Why is it like that with every single thing we ask about? Or we quote unquote complain about? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You take heed to other people's realities, but when it comes to black Americans, then it's like, oh, y'all doing too much. Y'all asking for too much. Why would you want representation and reparations and all this stuff? And there's other black people. No, we asking for something uniquely to us. And when we ask for that, it's a fucking problem.
I agree with everything you said. And to add on to that with the Akon thing, it's like, it's easy to be like, oh, why don't y'all just get over it? But like I said before, it has never been addressed. It has never been apologized for. It hasn't been reparations. It's like if somebody steal your bike and you like, yo, I need my bike back. Mm-hmm. Or the compensation for the value of the bike.
Yeah.
And then you just never get it back. And then they be like, whoa, why you keep bringing up that I owe you. Like, nigga, I keep bringing it up because you never pay me back for the fucking bike. If you give me the bike back, I won't bring it up no more. Right?
That reminds me of, you remember Mike?
Mm-hmm.
He said one day, he said, yo, you gave me your Range Rover, then you made me pay you for it, and then you took back the Range Rover, so now you owe me the money. I'm like, that's fucking 20 years ago. Like, you still asking me for that money? Like, you serious? He's like, yeah, you robbed me, bro. I'm like, that was then, though. Like, we are whole new people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying you for what happened 20 years ago. Do you think I should be paying him for that?
I don't know.
I mean,
you know, Mike.
I don't know the inner
what's
workings of all of that, but at some
y'all
point,
trying to stay out of it.
nah, but here's the thing. At some point, if y'all are going to continue to be friends and have a fruitful relationship, you have to address what happened.
It happened. Whatever happened. That was then. It is what it is.
Again, if y'all want to have a fruitful relationship moving forward, you have to address what happened. What happened in the past. Whatever that means to you, that don't mean you got to give them a Range Rover right now in 2023. But that means you do have to address
If
what
you
happened.
give out Range Rovers, I would like one.
I needed it gone because I had done something in it. So I was like, you take it. And then I was like, I need money for it.
Okay.
But then once the heat was down, I want my Range Rover back.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So was it like a loan?
Well, what
like,
happened was
it like, did he rent the Range Rover? You get what I'm saying? Like, it was like $1,000.
I don't
That's
really
different.
remember what happened, actually. I think what happened was when I was going to jail, the girl who the shit name was in was like, give me my truck.
Oh, see, then
Because
that's
it was in
different.
her name.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, I got to get the truck back because I got to give it to Shorty. You know what I'm saying? So, and that, it was what it was.
Right.
But he never asked for the money back then until he found out that I still had the truck. At some point, I don't know. It was a whole bunch of shit, but I'm not giving the nigga the money back. I got it. Get it in blood, nigga. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, please, Lord have mercy.
I'm just joking because he really want to get it back in blood.
That's water under the bridge. But if you're talking about America, this country that always talks about diplomacy, we in fucking Ukraine, we in Syria, we all over the world talking about democracy and protecting what's right all over the world, but has never made things right within its own borders. There's something seriously wrong with that. And we're going to keep bringing the shit up until things are made right.
I think we're losing that fight.
What?
They taking the shit back ever since fucking Roe vs. Wade and shit, or even the Trump shit. They back on some shit. You think a race war is coming for real?
No, I don't think a race war is coming.
I think the only reason a race war isn't coming is because we're not ready for that. I think we're gonna do a lot of kumbaya shit, but they really got their guns right.
Oh yeah, they
are ready for whatever.
Yeah.
They are moving on. They're
Yeah.
moving on the LGBT community.
Yeah.
They're moving on black people. They definitely moving on with fucking the policies all over. They're like, yo, we're not playing by none of this. We want our country back. What are we doing? What are we doing? They just killed the nigga on the train right in front of niggas. They don't give a fuck. And they just supporting him $2.7 million. Let's go.
And they're gonna do it again.
And they're gonna keep doing it on bigger and bigger scales. At what point do you think we're gonna be really ready to go to war with them? We be having 9s and fucking Glocks. These niggas is off the shoulder.
And that's why, and a lot of people gonna hate me for this. I don't think our biggest issue is getting financial reparations. Because let me tell you something. The same thing they did to the Japanese after they let them out the concentration camps they had them in. The same thing they did to the indigenous folks that they forced to sign treaties. They gonna be like, we gave y'all this. That's it. We don't want to hear about it no more. The same thing the police do when they kill your sister and your brother, and they give you $1 million check, and you take that check. They tell you, shut the fuck up. We paid you for that already.
Right.
So that's exactly what's going to happen with reparations. There's going to be no actual structural change. There's going to be actually more, because they're going to say, we gave y'all the money. Oh, well, they could diminish the value of the money. They could increase the oppression under the systems, all of that stuff. So us saying, yo, we need a $50,000 check. We need this, that, and that. Okay.
And then what happens after that? We gonna be
you
cool?
Gonna be out here with the Class A Azul bottles hitting the goddamn bell, and then have a baby mother you don't like by the next week. That's what you're gonna do with that money. You're not gonna do the right thing.
Niggas keep talking about reparations. What is that really gonna do for niggas?
I'm taking the money. We owe that money, and I don't give a fuck if we squander it and we don't apply it to the right things. That still doesn't change nothing. And the only
Exactly.
I mean, as far as what you're saying, that doesn't give them the right to be like, oh, well, we're going to stop doing, legislation. Because at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we have against white supremacy is that they're hypocrites. Is that their own constitution speaks about liberty for all and justice for all and all that bullshit. So whenever we show them the mirror and talk about the ideals that America was supposedly formed on, does it include all Americans? Yes or no? So the hypocrisy that has been going on has been our biggest weapon against America. So regardless of whether the money's paid or not, that's still going to be our biggest weapon to affect change. And at the end of the day, the money is owed, and that shouldn't change any of the legislative things.
I want the money because it's a capitalist country.
Facts.
Do I think that money is going to change anything for the state and the position that we're in right now? Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's
that's
not owed. I'm not saying it
our-
shouldn't be given. I'm saying there should be a pressure to say this is what's happening. And with capitalism needs a bottom class to abuse in order for other folks to surpass that and survive. So if we address that and understand that, unfortunately, Black Americans is that abused class, then there's not going to be any change in those systems.
Money changes a lot of things.
There's billionaires that don't have power, though.
Right, but there's not billionaires that's out doing petty crimes and shit like that. Like when you talk about poverty, and you talk about you looking in the jail systems and all types of suffering going on. If these folks had financial freedom, their story would be different 9 times out of 10, except for John Morant. But everybody else, the poverty and wealth is a big difference in your behavior and
I agree with you. Yeah, we agreed on that.
So we can't say that the money ain't going to change shit. Like I don't think that's true at all.
It won't change anything systematically. And then you think about it like this: you would still need a certain level of financial literacy to understand what you should be able to do.
Super facts.
Most of the country cannot read past the 8th grade level. Right? And and I think we spoke about this before. I think it's something like 47 to 53% of Black American households that don't even clear $50,000 a year. So now if I give you a check for $50,000 in your hand and no financial literacy, no nothing, then of course it's within your means, right? Like when people was complaining about what people was doing with the $1,200 during the COVID, I said, I don't give a fuck. It's supposed to boost the economy. If you want to go to Red Lobster, that's on you. You get what I'm saying? But it can also cause a lot of harm too.
So I feel you on that, but reparations doesn't have to look like the stimulus shit where every Black American gets a check in the mail.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the best thing.
Okay.
Reparations could look different. I've seen different proposals. So there's one proposal, and this isn't necessarily about reparations, but it's just about wealth. It's about like, if every baby, when you're born, if the government put $1,000 in a compound interest account, when that baby turns 18, that's like $42,000 without putting any more money in it at all, just based off the market and how compound interest work. $1,000 will turn into like $47,000 when they're 18, and that could help pay for college or whatever, or help start any young adult's life. That alone is an investment into all Americans.
Right.
And now you're going into the workforce with a cushion, and now you can possibly put a down payment on a home or start a business or something like that. Reparations could look like that.
No,
it doesn't have to look like just a stimulus check. It could be look at something long-term, some type of fund or something to support Black Americans moving forward.
I agree with you. You know what would cover that though? And the pushback you're going to get on that is a lot of people saying, well, that's socialism, so we not with it because we're a democracy. We're not a socialist society, right? Then we got to remember that Americans are very individualized and very fucking selfish people. We saw it during the pandemic where people was fighting just to wear a mask because you could kill somebody could kill you, but you want to be so out the fucking box so bad that you was fighting not to wear this mask, right? So what's going to happen is when you introduce a program like that is an amazing program, you're going to have to tell people now, we have to raise taxes to fund this program, and people are going to be like, fuck them kids.
Right.
Because if you look at all them European countries, right? France, for example, both parents can stay home for up to 2 years and they get a check every month. So that way you're home, you take care of your child, whatever. The taxes pay for that though. Sweden, that's supposed to be the happiest country in the world, they have one of the highest tax rates in the world as well. And they get free healthcare, free college, free daycare, free schooling, all of those things. But again, you have to be willing to say, I love my fellow American enough that you can take this money from me because I know it's going to good places. Unfortunately, what we see now and where our money goes now is some bullshit. We got the highest military budget in the entire fucking world.
Super facts.
Our money goes to killing kids instead of helping them. Mm-hmm. But nobody goes crazy for that. We don't argue against that. We don't say, well, why would the IRS audit y'all for the last couple of years and y'all can't even come up with an itinerary to say where you spent this money at? Nobody's revolting against that. Right. But if you come up with that program there, that's an amazing program, they gonna take you out in the street and beat you because they don't want to spend money.
And you're right. There's always going to be people that oppose anything. And you just got to understand, like, some parts, I'm not saying we should be a socialist country, but there's parts of socialism that's productive. Take certain parts from this, and make it a better place, right? Yeah. So it just like you said with the military. Anybody could be like, oh, yeah, if we do that, if we do reparations, our taxes are going to go up. But at the same time, we spending billions in fucking Ukraine and shit like that. Yeah. Like, bro, the money is there. It's always going to be there. It's about where your priorities are. Us getting reparations isn't going to change any individual's financial situation. Not going to raise somebody's taxes. It's just going to reappropriate money to where it should go.
I got you.
That's all it is. The money is there.
And it should be used.
Not to mention that they printing the shit.
Right. If you look at it, like, even with in our city budget, right? Mm-hmm. I think, New York State itself, I think it's something like $700 billion, right? We have one of the highest state budgets. We carry all of those racists that don't like us. We pay their bills because they can't make up enough money to pay their own bills. Mm-hmm. But within our city in particular, the NYPD has an $11 billion budget. Mm. Which just got shorted though. $300 million was taken out the education budget, and I forgot how many millions of dollars was just taken out the libraries. Where now libraries are going to be closing earlier and taking certain days off. So again, if you allocate the money in the right places, our kids can actually have an education. They could get these things. They could get free food. They could get free healthcare. But no, you want to give them $11 billion to the NYPD for what?
And that's part of the defund the police movement. The movement wasn't about abolish the police, take all of their money away, but it's about, all right, the current method of policing is not working.
Right.
All the money that we're pouring into is not working. How about we take some of that money out
and put it into
all
resources.
That overtime that they're doing, that way they ain't really doing shit anyway. Let's put that back into the education and the libraries and shit that's actually doing shit in the community.
What month is it? It's May. Mm-hmm. They've already surpassed their overtime budget. The NYPD has maxed out on their overtime budget.
That's
and it's only May. I hate Eric Adams.
Your man's in them.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, if we allocate the money into the right places, it could be, I'm a socialist. I don't believe it should be any billionaires. I don't believe nobody should be a billionaire while other folks is poor. You cannot explain to me any reason where capitalism is correct to me. Right? I would like programs and all that stuff to be here to help everyone that's around. I'm a community person. So if you tell me, yo, listen, every dollar you get, I need 20 cents, and I see that goes to the community garden, us eating, us having after school programs, all that stuff, you could take your 20 cents. Matter of fact, take 25 cents.
See, I'm okay with billionaires. I love socialism, but not only socialism. Like I said, I like bits and pieces of everything and put it in a pot and see what works, right? Because just because I have $1 billion doesn't mean that I took it from you. I like you. If a lot of poor people, and no knock on people that are in poverty, they're going to be in poverty whether Jeff Bezos makes $180 billion or not. They're not going to change their situation regardless, right? So he's not taking from them. In fact, that's just kind of a scarcity mindset. Like, when you have certain billionaires that are doing the right thing with their money and creating jobs and opportunities and businesses, money is circulating, you could make more people wealthy with $1 billion.
But they
right?
don't. That's the thing.
I mean,
and
that's a general statement.
There's no billionaire that has created their wealth without abusing people. No billionaire. And and y'all know, when I said this before, people like, but what about LeBron? LeBron is signed to Nike. Nike is a company that abuses children. And that's how the sneakers and stuff get made. So even if you say, oh no, because that's the other company, you've said it's okay. I know what this company does, and because they're giving me a check, I'm going to turn a blind eye to it. There is 0 billionaires on this planet that do not use abuses against poor people in order to earn their wealth.
I mean, if you're going to do a deep dive audit on everybody's ties, then you can't say that me and you don't have certain ties.
But I don't have power that comes with that, though.
I mean, on a smaller scale, we might wear Nikes, we might wear other shit, and they might support something down the line. Yeah, of course. That's a sticky situation.
I have to participate in capitalism because that's the society that we're in. Right? So I can try to limit it as much as I can and not be a full-on capitalist. But if the society I'm in, I still have to function in that society. So of course there's certain things I literally cannot avoid, right? So I don't like Starbucks. Why? Because the CEO of Starbucks won't let them unionize. My little thing is I'm not going to Starbucks no more because that's what he's doing, right? He likes to say, oh, I built my wealth up by myself. I was homeless, this, and the third. I hear you didn't build it by yourself. Your employees, your corporation, all the folks that you hire is why you're a billionaire.
Right.
Not you as an individual, because one person as an individual can never acquire that much wealth on their own. But if you pay them people a living wage, right? And if you allowed them to unionize, you are afraid that you won't be a billionaire anymore. And that's what makes you a bad person. You get what I'm saying? Because if you get your coffee, I don't know where to get the coffee from, just giving an example. If you get your coffee in a country where you are paying wages that you know are not correct wages, right? Or livable wages and things like that. Now you bring it over here and now you're paying your employees wages that aren't livable as well. It just, you get what I'm saying? The domino effect, it just keeps on happening. Again, if you look at the practices of these people, nobody earns $1 billion with just having like a great moral compass. You have to have, even myself as an entrepreneur, the way I work and how I work, right? It changes you. Like your mindset, you have to literally become a monster in order to continue going. And
you think so? To be a billionaire, you got to be a monster.
Yeah, you know how hard it is to be in that mind frame and just to basically say, all right, this is where we going. I have to meet this goal. I'm talking about as far as like waking up early, being the first one in the office, being the last one to leave type situation. That's what I'm saying. You know how people complain about hustle culture now and stuff like that? Yeah. What you don't understand is if you want to be in a position of leadership, you turn into that person. And a lot of the times it doesn't make you a good person.
I hear you, but I also think it's a generalization. I don't think that all billionaires fall into that. I don't think all successful people fall into that. And a lot of times they're the people that get the economy flowing and have the ability to create opportunities for other people. There's always going to be a working class and there's going to be rich folks. And like I said before, just because one person is holding $1 billion, that they're not taken from the lower class. The lower class folks may or may not have certain opportunities to get that bread, but it's not necessarily dependent on this person. They're not actually stealing or taking. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Do I believe that all billionaires are moral and have integrity? Of course not. But I don't think that billionaires should not exist.
I don't think, and I hear you, and I'm not being argumentative to your opinion. I just don't see a reason why somebody would be homeless when there's literally 1% of the country that controls the entire, like, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Has more wealth as 1%, as only a few people, right? Maybe the same amount of people in this room control the wealth of an entire country, and it doesn't get distributed in a way where people can actually live. A country, a company, a community is only as strong as its people. So when you continue just to abuse people and punch down on them, how can you build up an entire country that way?
So you prefer socialism to capitalism?
So I'm anti-capitalism.
Okay.
Because I know.
And you're an entrepreneur though.
I am an entrepreneur, but that doesn't make me a capitalist. Okay. Because capitalism also comes with a certain amount of power that me, being a black Puerto Rican woman, I'm not going to quite necessarily get anytime soon. You get what I'm saying? But capitalism, again, by design and by definition, needs a class to abuse in order for the other folks to gain money and to gain power. And in this position and in this particular country, and unfortunately through most of the world, the people that get abused are black and brown people. So I can't sit here and say I love my community, I'm pro-black, I'm for my people, I'm die hard for us, I'm willing to go the extra mile, and then be like, you know what? But I support the fact that this person just made $1 billion unjustly, knowing that there's little kids in India, you know, little kids in Mexico, little kids in Africa that are putting this work in. They shouldn't have to live that life.
So let me ask you something, right? Mm-hmm. You're an entrepreneur, you have several businesses, you're out there, you're doing a lot of great things. Let's just say you were able to scale your business, you were able to multiply yourself and delegate, and now you got your own business, franchising, and just all over the country and the world, and now you got all this money coming in. You have the same heart that you had, you know, from when you first started. Now you have the same money, and now you can give back, you can pour it into the communities, you can pour it into certain people and initiatives. Why is that a bad thing? Like, so is there a cap on what you want to make in your life? Like, you're like, if I make over $9 million, then I might turn into a bad person.
The crazy thing is, I did ask somebody that. I said, at what point does it go from being like rich or having a couple dollars to being a full-on capitalist, right? And I think it's, you know, in addition to having millions and millions of dollars, is also a mindset. And I would just say that in the immediate, right? Because I was also I struggle with code switching, right? I always say I don't want to be in certain rooms, or I don't like being in certain rooms because I don't like to downplay who I am or lighten my voice or do anything to make them feel comfortable, right? What I learned is a couple things. That's a form of survival, right? Because sometimes, especially in the position I'm in, I'm not in the position to turn down certain opportunities that are offered to me. And also, you got to play the game to win. So I think it's more about what you do when you get in them spaces than not getting in those spaces at all, and then you shut it. You don't have the opportunity to do anything, right? So I guess I won't know until I'm there, is what I'm saying. But my hope is that I surround myself with enough good folks that tell me, you said when you got here, this is what you was going to do, right? And if I do all of those things that you just named, then I wouldn't be as, let's just say I got 10 million, right? But if I took 7 of that shit and I distributed and did what I said I was going to do, then I won't be hoarding wealth at that point, because I'm actually making changes within my community. I hope I'm making sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, you can be individualized and be authentic and be organic and stay true to yourself and say, fuck that. I'm not taking these opportunities. I'm not letting, I'm not going in these meetings with these white people changing who I am. And you can understand that that's amazing and that's great. But you also have to understand that sometimes it caps when you do that. So now you can say, all right, maybe I can tweak it. Maybe I can code switch a little bit. Maybe I can play into their hand a little bit, because now I'm in the room and I could offer much more. But again, if you stay individualized when you get in them spaces, now you're just a rich asshole. You're not the person that got rich and did good.
I feel you, but I just feel like, the saying, the money is the root of all evil and shit like that. I feel like you are who you are, and money is just going to amplify that. So I don't believe in you turning into a rich asshole. I believe you was probably already an asshole and you got rich. And somebody like you with a good heart, like, why wouldn't you? I would love for you to be a billionaire. I know what you would do with that. Right. So I don't think that's a bad thing. And I feel like, so I understand, like, because a lot of billionaires, to be that successful, maybe there's a good chance that you had to, like, take shortcuts or step on certain toes and snake certain people and things of that nature, or not really care.
Well, why you think, I'm sorry to cut you off, why you think companies get their products made and products from other countries where they have to pay less? You get what I'm saying? So that's like people that go to an all-inclusive resort and they be like, oh, because I'm in Jamaica or because I'm in DR or because I'm in Mexico, I'm going to just tip them $1. You know good and goddamn well, them people deserve way more than $1.
Right.
But because your mind frame says it's okay to abuse poor people, you take advantage of that in that space. Knowing you could afford $5 a tip, even that's low. But you could afford that. But your mind, you've already been conditioned and trained to say poor people don't matter. So now when I go to these countries, that's it. It's my time to shine. I could be an oppressor now. I told you that before. We don't see a lot of success within our immediate circle. So when the rarity comes that we are successful, we often turn into white men and we become super oppressive to our own people.
Yeah. I would just hope that there's a difference. Like you could be worth $2 billion and be somebody that didn't oppress people, that didn't take the shortcuts, didn't step on people, and realize like, hey, had I done all of that, I could have been worth like 10 billion, but I'm only worth 2 billion now because I played it this route. Like that's what I'm talking about. I feel like you're still a billionaire. You still got 2 billion. You could have been a slimy nigga and hadn't had 10 billion, but I feel like, like even listening to like, Robert Smith, he's like the richest black person. And I heard him talk recently. And I mean, the man is mad philanthropic. He's outside. He's in the streets. He's helping people out. He's the one that forgave, like in 2019, he forgave all the student loans at Morehouse. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like nobody's doing that shit. Cost him like $30 million in one shot. You know what I mean?
In a tax write-off.
Yeah. So I mean,
and that's no disrespect to him. No, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that people that have wealth don't do good things or can redistribute some of it to make the community flow and society flow. But if I took money from you and then I just dangle it and I say, "Here's your gift back," it's like I could have had that money to begin with.
And that's where it's like, did you really take it from me? It wasn't, never mind. That's the scarcity mindset that I don't like. I don't feel like there's a lot of money out there and it don't got nobody's name on it. If I get rich, I'm not taking away from nobody. That's the way that I think. That's also the way I do business. Yeah. I'm not stealing from nobody. So I feel like if you do good business and you make good investments, you provide a service, you provide a product, it's a fair price. I'm giving you what you need. You pay me what it's worth, and I get rich off of that. Ain't no harm in that. I ain't taking nothing from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Listen, I know for a fact with all the opportunities that's coming to me, there's a lot of money that I'm about to have. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my team that all the time. Like when we have team meetings in the morning, I say, yo, y'all ready to be rich? And they say, yeah. And I say, well, I'm not, but I know it's coming.
Yeah.
You know? But again, there's a difference between being rich and then being super wealthy and then being a billionaire. You know? Even if you look at systems like the lotto, people be like, oh, you just won the lotto. But there's millions of poor people that went out and spent their money with the same dream you had. There would be no lotto if there was no poor people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Here we go back to the oppressive systems, because even if it was that dollar, I know my nana, my grandmother, they would spend their last dollar because they got that dream. They'd say, fuck buying the milk or fuck buying the bread. I'm going to play the number because I got, what they say, I got that feeling, right? Yeah. So now you say this person now just got $100 million from the lotto, but that's because 100 million people gave $1 for you to have that opportunity. So it's just so much bigger than just that person as an individual, you know? And like I said, I don't like to, sign off or co-sign any system that abuses us in order to be productive. That's, and I know all systems have their ups and all systems have their downs. And I think a smart person can learn something from anybody. It's all about what you do once you get in those spaces, and if you do the right thing or not.
Y'all still talking about fucking black people?
No, we paused for a minute.
We paused because we was going off on a tangent about socialism and capitalism.
We didn't want to pivot to a different subject. I didn't know what time he was coming back.
Son, I just went through the wildest shit in the fucking world. So y'all know this. Fuck people. To be honest, everybody. You like people?
No.
Cause I like dogs. Dogs I didn't say I didn't like. I like dogs. Dogs is
I
cool.
have a love and hate relationship with people.
Yo, people are fucking
I like
ridiculous.
spurts of people.
There's several people that just got on my nerves just now.
What happened?
Right? I get a fucking message. Your package has been delivered. Right? I don't know who's listening. I don't want to say what the fuck was in the package. Right? There's a lot going on in life. So I'm doing what I got to do. Right? But I know this area. The one thing I don't like about the people in this area, what, Tron?
What?
They will take your fucking package.
Oh, yeah.
Quick.
Super
Yeah.
fact.
So the minute I got the notification, I run downstairs.
Okay.
Package gone.
No fucking way.
Package gone. Right? I go to the white people, Court Street. Hello, white people. One of the white people is the woman that calling the motherfucking cops with her husband.
God,
so she looking at me like, she did a double take like,
Yeah.
I know you ain't talking to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I need you, white
channels.
person. I need you. This is the quality. This is quality of life. I know you're big on that, right? Quality of life.
Yeah.
I need help. Have you seen the package? The UPS. She said, yeah, they came, but they didn't go there. They went somewhere else. And they left. I said, you just left? He said, yeah, 5 minutes ago. Y'all see me? I looked around. I looked in other yards. I go, come up here. Y'all still black people and black people and black people and white people and black people. I need my shit. I went, got my sneakers. What, Millie? I know Millie's like, you really left? Yes! I went and got my motherfucking sneakers, but I didn't want to lose my parking spot.
You know what?
And I'm limited with a car because now you're behind other cars. You got lights, all types of shit. So what did I do?
Hop on the scooter.
I jumped on the motherfucking scooter. But that shit only goes about 17 miles per hour. So I'm down the block on the fucking scooter, right? I get to Bedford. You think this shit is funny?
This shit is fucking hilarious.
I make the fucking right. Fuck you too, Toro. I make the fucking right on Bedford. There's no UPS on Jefferson. I'm thinking they go around the corner, right? Damn. I see a UPS driver coming up Bedford. I'm like, oh, the motherfucker must have run around the corner up Spencer. He coming around the corner. I'm waving at them. Yo. He waves at me back. Yo. And keeps fucking going.
I thought you was just
The
saying
nigga
hi.
said, the nigga said, hey, pew, kept going. Bust a right on Madison. I'm behind the nigga. On the fucking scooter, this shit ain't going nowhere. Now this motherfucker think it's cops and robbers. He's weaving in and out of traffic and shit, trying to get away from me. Gets
so
all the way to
dramatic.
fucking Marcy, makes a right on Marcy, but he got caught at Madison and Marcy. So, I can't go but so fucking fast, right? So I get through Nostrand, up to Marcy, he makes the right, boom, but he busted. I'm like, yo, this nigga's running. You're running? You're really running? You didn't know it was me? If you got the package, give me the package. If you ain't got the package, somebody else got the package, why are you running? I stopped. Yo, I need to talk to you. Because I got my package ain't missing. He's like, oh yeah, I don't do this though. You ain't see the other truck is right there around the corner. They don't want got your package. I ain't got your package. Ooh, he takes off.
No way.
I said, thank you. Turn my scooter around. Ooh, to the next block. There's a truck right there.
Okay.
Jamaican dude, tall Jamaican dude. Y'all blood clot. No, blood clot.
I am not. I can't. Did you get the package, Tahoe?
The nigga gives me the call center number. He says, yo, the truck that has your package just blew past it. He's going back to Maspeth. So just call them, see where, whatever, or you could just file a claim. I'm like, blood, I need my pack. Yo, I ain't got time for all this, blood. Like the shit just happened. It just happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. All right. I call the number, boop, boop, nothing. You know, it's the end of the day. Nobody doing nothing. You people. Motherfuckers ain't answering no motherfucking phone. They know if it's them people, they got a walkie-talkie. Some shit. I say, you call them walkie-talkie. Yo, I can't, no blood clot. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
You are outrageous.
I get back on the scooter. I slow putt back to the crib, right? Because now I realize I've been going for a good 15. How long I was going?
Just go for it.
A minute.
For a minute.
I'm freezing. You're warm, by the way. Come up, Marcy. Past Putnam, fucking truck. There's another truck. Make the right, I'm putting them. Bust it to the truck. Yo, you was working on fucking Hancock? Yeah. I wish a motherfucker would.
Right.
Talking about what you give it. Listen. The motherfucker. Oh. Yeah. I worked that block. I said, yo, you didn't deliver the package in my spot. He's like, yes, I did. I said, no, you didn't. The white ladies saw you. You didn't even go in my yard. He said, well, ask the white ladies what yard I went in. I said, why the fuck I gotta ask the white ladies what yard you went in? What yard did you go in? You tell me what yard you went in. This is my shit. You dropped it off.
I can't deal with this whole
Me and this
story.
motherfucker going back and forth about, he's talking about, oh, well, I ain't got time. I'm on my route. I didn't do it. Trust me, somebody probably stole it. Said, bro, ain't nobody steal it. The white lady seen you did not go in my yard. Trust me, she pays attention to my yard.
Right.
It's literally what she does all day. I know for a fact she would have saw if somebody went in my yard. She hates me.
Yeah.
She's right there. She's still right there. She can probably listen to us right now. Me and this I'm almost trying not to let the motherfucker go.
Yeah.
Because I'm like in front of the truck. I'm like, dude, where's my package?
Yeah.
You can't come around the corner? I'm not coming around the corner. Jamaican dude pulls up behind him in the other UPS truck. Yo, this the one that had your package, right? I said, yeah, he had my package. He talking about he not trying to come around the corner. Show me where you put the package at, dude. He said, I put it in your yard. You did not put it in my yard. Jamaican, yeah, I just go show him where you put the package. Right? They both come around the corner. I'm stopping at every corner, waiting for them on the fucking scooter. Come on this way.
Right.
Stop at Jefferson. Right up here. Nigga, I've never felt so ridiculous on a scooter. Now I know I look ridiculous on the scooter. I don't care.
Yeah.
This time I know it. I'm like down the block on the fucking scooter. I get to the crib. I stop the shit. Try to stop it, gangster. Kick the kickstand down. They both of them pull up. He's like, yeah, but he sees me in front of my house. He's like, yeah, I dropped it right here in your yard, right here. And he comes in the yard. He's like, yeah, I put it right there. And then I pressed the button on the bell. He said, yeah, somebody answered. They was like, yeah, UPS. I said, somebody answered this bell? This bell ain't working 4 months. How somebody answered this bell, bro? The Jamaican come in. He's like, nah, da. But I could tell the Jamaican knows something ain't right. The Jamaican like, yo. He's like, yo, just file the other dude. File a claim. Yo, file a claim. Jamaican dude walks out, start walking. He said, yo, you said you put it right here? He's like, yeah. Jamaican walks out. He walks down a couple houses. He said, you said you put it right where? Come over, 3 houses, 4 houses down.
Of course. Finds
the fucking package.
Yep.
Now I done ran all the way around. Why ain't just go 3 houses down? I hate people, including myself. You ain't hear me cursing the dude out just now? Outside the house?
No.
Yo, Duke, you don't know what this is to me. What you talking about? You came in my yard. You never came in my fucking yard.
Talking about put a
This
claim.
is your job, Duke.
Yeah.
You never came there. You talking about
That
you
could
ring
be
the bell.
medication.
You
It
making
could
up
be
all
anything,
kind of
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, imagine that's your medication that you
Yeah.
need. or
Jamaican
something like-
pissed off. The Jamaican dude pissed off. 'Cause obviously, he got to do this with this dude probably more than once.
Yeah.
Detective Bobsled. Fuck.
That is fucking funny.
I'm ready for some energy. Y'all been talking about this intelligent shit for mad
You the
long.
one said we was gonna have a smart
I
episode.
fucking had to go on a whole goddamn
All right, well,
Harry
ask some
and
stupid
Meghan
shit
chase.
about what bitches bring to the table, then, and then I could get mad at that.
I will.
Oh,
Trust me,
Lord
I will.
have mercy, Jesus.
Did y'all hear about Harry and Meghan getting chased by paparazzi?
That's how you just chase down the UPS.
That's exactly
people.
how fucking I knew I felt like Harry and Meghan, and I felt like the paparazzi. The motherfucker.
Holy shit.
You don't know. I said, you don't know what the fuck is in here. This shit could have been life or death for me, motherfucker. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
You just putting it anywhere and telling me what you isn't gonna do?
And then market delivered. Yep. Dropped it
Right.
off.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he started talking about, yeah, well, I took a picture. Let me see the picture. Let me see the picture. Oh, well, you can't see it. Only corporate can see the picture. Why?
They so fucking ridiculous.
Because you ain't take no fucking picture.
That's like when they say they delivered it to me.
That's where the name Porch Monkey comes from.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, like I'll look and it'll say delivered, left in the mail room, or left at security, a secretary. Like where the fuck y'all think I live? Why y'all lying? We don't have that here. Like, what are you talking about? It's one camera that point down that see the entrance. Like
the nigga said, yeah, I put it here or I put it over the gate. My gate is damn near up to the top. How did you put the shit over the gate? Yeah. You don't remember? It was right there. You just remember doing all this other shit. You don't remember when you put the package? You serious? Oh, I drop 150 packages off every day.
You probably fuck up 95 of them.
You bitch ass nigga.
Somebody said he was in the movie Hangover.
I'm saying.
Oh, man.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck y'all was talking about. Did y'all have fun? Or was it a snooze fest?
We had a good combo.
Not snooze. It was a journalistic, educated conversation.
That shit was boring as fuck.
Ain't that something?
But
says the
I'm
person
pretty
that
sure
abandoned the conversation.
I had to. I didn't know nothing.
He started the conversation. That's why you did that. Yeah. He was like, "Wait, they being super intelligent right now."
UPS people way more fun. I'm talking about black liberation and shit. I'm like, I don't know what the hell they talking about. They all smart in here. Shit. Look, Keita's like, yeah, I would sleep too.
I'm sorry.
But this is Trom's bag.
Yeah.
And it's your bag. Now, how the fuck? Because when I grew up with you years ago.
I grew up with you. Jesus.
Well, the years ago. You wasn't as smart as this. When did you get this smart? What did you do? Rent AI? You just studied it or something? What did you do? How'd you get this smart?
So I would say I was always smart. I would say I was always smart. Like I went to school half the time and still graduated a year early. I graduated with a degree in psychology with like
that don't
a
have nothing to do with black
3.8.
studies and liberations in Argentina. I said, how the fuck did she know this about
So
Argentina?
you know what's so crazy? Again, we have a mutual friend. You ever been to Tax's house early in the morning?
No.
Okay, well,
I was at Tax's house early in the morning.
That sounded crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Free tax. I love tax.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
Tax.
But no, like you would go in, he'd be rolling a blunt and blasting Jeezy and watching like CNN. And so, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a mixture. I always feel like even when I was like out in the streets, I would be bagging up crack and watching PBS. Like I would be bagging up crack and reading, literally buying textbooks and reading them. I wanted to be a lawyer, so I would buy textbooks, law books, and just read them shits like it was nothing.
Like Westlaw? You was reading law books?
Yeah, I would read like history textbooks, all that stuff. I'm really, really a nerd. Like really a nerd. I sit down, I watch documentaries, I read a lot.
I can tell. The way you spit off facts is like it's in you. You know that shit. You ain't gotta think of that shit. Cause ain't no ums.
Yeah.
I got 7 ums in saying I'm about to say just now. You see me? I just stopped and had to figure out what there's an waiting.
But I think a lot of times people don't know I'm really that smart because they don't expect it from either somebody that look like me or when they meet me on different terms. You met me on some like outside street shit. So you was just like, all right, this little dirty bitch.
I never said you was dirty.
But you know, whatever.
Never said you was dirty.
So you wasn't expecting for me to be like, hey,
no.
This is the 3 branches of government.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. There's a lot of people that you think are doing well, but they really ain't as smart.
Yeah.
One of them is a name that came up in today's episode, which you was like, who the fuck is that? It's probably below your pay scale. Well, maybe not. Below your intelligence scale. You ever heard the word Ja Morant? You ever heard that?
Oh, that's the dude, the NBA dude, right?
Yeah.
The little boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about this kid that Tron was laughing? He kind of looked like John Morant. You could be a close, distant cousin or something. But you can say that was you in the car. It wasn't him.
I can't.
The guy gets caught, I believe, in what? A strip club? Brandishing a weapon. Throws it up online, right? It was online. Gets suspended. I think he got suspended 8 games. Maybe 9 games. Something like that.
Yeah, 8 games.
From what team is he on?
Grizzlies.
Memphis Grizzlies. The motherfucker jump out the park. Jumps out the park. Motherfucker is like their star, like crazy star. That people can't believe how good he is. It's just amazing. But then there's count him. Y'all might be able to count him from now on. As good basketball he is, I don't know if he's as smart outside off the court. They're saying that the motherfucker's like basically like running around with
guns and shit.
You know, gangs. I don't know if it's gang or whatever, but he's trying to be super street, right?
A lot of players is like that though.
Yeah.
Remember? Like, you remember Lance back in the days? Lance Stevenson?
Yeah, but I could tell Lance was dead ass.
Oh, Lance was dead ass. Like, everybody that was around him had a gun on him. He was going to have a gun on him. You know, we from the same hood. So, like, he was...
Lance was dead ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this Ja kid now posts, after the 8-game suspension, he comes back, says how sorry he is, you know, changed man. He knows what his you know, calling in life is. It's not the street. Gets caught in the car with like 3 other losers. Sorry. You know what? I don't know. I don't even know if they deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, one of them is on live. One of the other guys.
You
is
would
on
keep
live.
calling them losers because I think what they did was some dumb shit.
But it's kind of like I'm on live. I'm showing all my friends in live. We living. It's a millionaire in the front seat. I'm living. Y'all don't know. I'm never coming back home. I'm never coming back.
You about to go to Rikers.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of going home, you going to Rikers.
I do like this. I show him. This nigga got a gun in his hand. Hey, I put the phone down. Like, yo, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's live,
Yeah.
right? It's not like a post where I could delete it. It's fucking live. So he puts the phone down. It was the 0.5 second.
Or somebody captured it.
Yeah.
And somebody must have been recording this shit and releases the shit. He is now on an indefinite suspension. We don't know what they're investigating, whether it happened now, whether it was older, whatever it may be, right? The NBA, you know, Grizzlies suspends him. You know what I mean? A lot of people are saying it's his friend's fault. Is it his friend's fault?
No. Well, I'll say what Little Duval said. He was like, yo, Little Duval would be like, yo, when I'm about to go on live, I tell everybody in the room, yo, about to go on live, don't say nothing, don't do nothing that might get me in trouble. I'm about to go live. You know what I mean? So his friend could have gave him a heads up.
He knew. He showed Ja. Ja was in the camera at first.
Yeah.
Then he went and got the gun. You see him. The dude is like this. Ja, he shows Ja. Ja's like, hey, we on live, right?
And then he
you
goes, look
see
at the
Ja's
hand.
hand
Ja
going
was
like
"Ooh,
this,
Let me get it.
Let me spice it up.
Put the pistol
right?
out.
But dude is just like, yeah, you see Ja, but we're a millionaire, nigga. We getting bitches. He shows him again. Ja's like, hey, hey.
Booyaka.
The nigga's like,
They was going on the drill.
You can see the nigga's life flash before his eyes.
Yeah.
He drops the phone. No. What are you doing? I swear to God, it happened that fast. You see the video?
Yeah.
It happened that fast, Chris. I swear to God. It was like, oh, what the fuck is you doing with a gun in your head, nigga? We rich.
Again, nigga.
Yeah, again.
So his friend knew what was about to go down, and this dickhead, who actually is the star, who's gonna get the repercussions.
This is the same friend that's banned from the Indiana Pacers arena.
Why?
Why is he?
Because
What is happening? Yeah, this is.
All right, so maybe it's.
he was like sitting courtside and they had some interactions with some of the players, and so he got kicked out, right? After the game, supposedly there was like a red dot coming from Ja Morant's car pointing at the Indiana Pacers team car. So they're saying like they flashed the firearm or the red dot, whatever. And the same dude was driving this car. The same dude that got kicked out the arena.
Oh,
yeah.
so then it's definitely Ja Morant's fault.
Yeah.
It's not the dude's fault. He's a fucking goon.
Right.
That's what he is.
Right.
He's
He
a
can
goon.
only be himself.
He can only be a goon. You choose who you get in this car with. You choose who
And
you
then
got
you
around
made the choice to he was trying to save you at that point.
At this point, and then this nigga's trying to be better than himself.
Yeah.
Shit, salute to the stupid nigga.
Right.
Because how could a nigga that dumb to do all this other shit
Got the more
be the
common-
one that's
yeah.
trying to save you?
Yeah.
From being a dickhead.
How much money did he have? 200-something million? What's the deal?
Yeah, you got a deal for like 220 or some shit like that.
A deal for when you say 220, did you forget to say million
Million.
dollars?
And he
And
loses
this
out on all of that.
motherfucker is the one that knows you shouldn't have this gun in your hand in this fucking car right now. Now, a lot of people are saying, yo, it's a fucking gun carry state.
That don't mean shit.
Like, why are we so mad at black people that have guns? We see white people have guns. They take pictures. They do all this shit.
Terrible argument.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I hate when we try to make the morale what they do. We should, you know what I'm saying? Like, people always do that. Like, oh, white people do this, so we should be able to do it. Like, no. First of all, I don't know who made them the moral compass of the world, but I'm never looking at a white person to say, okay, they did that, so it's A-okay for me to get away with it. Like, I don't know why we made them the hierarchy of that, but whatever the fuck. Yeah, he's not. He doesn't seem like a smart young man.
Not a smart cookie.
That wants to continue to be an NBA player. And even if you don't want to be a role model, people have to understand when you sign on to organizations and when you are that rich and in the limelight, you automatically become one. So there's an expectance of you that maybe you didn't analyze prior to, because you just said, I love to play ball. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be all these things. But unfortunately, once you're in the public eye, that's already deemed upon you. Mm-hmm. And they gonna save their asses before they save yours, because there's another what's his name, John Morant. There's gonna be another one right up the block in Brownsville. Mm-hmm. So we not gonna strain our resources to save you if you continue to be a dickhead when we could go get another one of you.
I ain't gonna front. Ja is special, man. Ain't nobody like him in the league. But I do want to address. So obviously this has been going around on social media and internet and people talking about it on TV. There's two narratives that get on my fucking nerves. One is one you talking about, Tahoe, where niggas is talking about, oh, well, it's not illegal. He lives in a state where you can carry.
Right.
I'm like, that narrative is stupid as fuck, because it's not about whether he did something illegal. It's about he's a liability to a corporation that pays him. The NBA has certain guidelines and moral guidelines that are in your contract that will void your contract, bro. First of all, that's first of all. Second of all, this is the second time this shit happened.
Right.
You sat with the commissioner and told them you're going to make better decisions. You went to like some fake rehab for 8 days or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you came and made a whole press release. I'm going to make better decisions. And then you do the shit again. It has nothing to do with whether you could legally carry. Like, that's a stupid ass argument, right? The other shit that I don't like is the racial shit, man. And you know, I'm always talking about race. I'm always talking about it's a different way they look at us versus, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. I get all that, right? But this is one of those times where you just got to be accountable for what you did, man. If you fuck up and you did some stupid shit, I don't give a fuck if you black or white or whatever. You did some stupid shit twice. The second time, there's just no excuse for it. I can't be like, oh, well, if it was a white player, he might not have I don't know no white players that have done no dumb shit like this twice, nigga. Like, cut it out. Mm-hmm. Like, stop throwing a race card when it doesn't apply. A lot of times the shit applies, but stop using the shit.
Damn. Good motherfucking
I didn't think about the first thing you said with the liability. Mm-hmm. And that does make sense, because I know like players can't even play outside of the league. Like, you're not supposed to be in tournaments or just hooping around the neighborhood, all that kind of stuff. That's in your contract. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things, it's like, yo, I hear you. You can do that, but clearly there's no gun safety happening when you on live. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just, doing all of that. It's different if you got, it's on your person, or you have it, like I said, gun safety, or you in a range or something, but you in the car doing all that. Now you shoot yourself in the knee and you done messed up our $200 million investment. Because we put $200 million into you, and now you shot yourself in the knee and fucked it up for everybody.
But I actually don't think that it's legal for you to just be...
and that too. Yeah. You can keep it in the glove compartment or whatever, but you shouldn't be waving it while you're listening to rap lyrics and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
for some reason, I think there's something wrong with that. I'm not sure, but... Okay.
Maybe Florida.
Boom, boom, boom. I got one more. Florida. I know that y'all already spoke for mad long, and we got to get to part 2. What time you got to dip out? You good?
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk about black people?
I think there was no part in the last 2 hours we ain't talking about black people.
Let's talk about...
You better speak to me.
Oh, fucking God.
Number one, you training with my husband. You better speak to me. Because my thing is, if you don't, I feel like you got some type of ulterior motive. Right. Why would you not? You know who I am. Yeah. You know who I am. I'm not hidden anywhere. Yeah. I'm all over his page. I'm in his stories. You know who I am.
I'm at his workplace. Yeah, I'm at his workplace.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you don't speak to me, then it's like, okay, so I'll tell him, you can't train her. She gotta go. She can't come back in here. And then, when he's training certain girls or whatever, like, it used to be a time where he used to be getting videos for him.
Some angles.
He's getting angles.
Ooh, what is
that? Yeah.
All like this.
Yep.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sell the product. I'm trying to sell the product.
Not at my expense. So guess what? I'd be in that DM, delete it. Right. Delete that story, delete that post. No.
I don't even put on no fight no more. I'm like, she a hater.
You in my gym. Number one.
Is she wrong?
personal trainers be in some nasty business, boy. They like, you be seeing them in the gym. These niggas be looking real. Them stretches be looking real sexual sometimes. So, I mean, you got to be kind of secure to be the wife or girlfriend of a personal trainer. But I would also say, like, yeah, at any point you got to respect. You know that this personal trainer, it's a real physical interaction. It's a personal interaction. It can get a little hairy. Respect the fact that this person's in a relationship, especially if you know that I'm here. You know that I'm in a relationship with your trainer. Yeah, there's a certain way you should move. So
so you think she's right?
What she's saying though is like, you got to speak to me as his wife.
So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I understand her sentiments. I don't agree with the way that she's acting. I don't think that she should be deleting shit, because remember I said two different things that kind of cancel each other out. Her insecurity is a problem.
Got you.
I understand her sentiments. I understand the personal training business could be a little personal and frisky, but you can't go about it like that.
Right.
You can't just be deleting DMs and shit like that while this nigga is trying to do business.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna limit that man's opportunities.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because what's gonna happen is, again, your insecurities is overshadowing what he can do and what he can bring home to y'all to share. You get what I'm saying? First and foremost, I'm a person, when I walk in the room, I greet everybody. But that's not, and I think that that's the polite thing to do, right? But I don't think there's a necessary clause where I have to speak to you just because you in a relationship with this person and he about to teach me how to do a proper push-up. Like, you as fucking manager? You get what I'm saying? Like, what part are you something other than being his partner? Are you his business partner? Things like that. Then if you have a title that comes with the business, yeah, maybe I can address you in that manner. But just because you sucking his dick, I don't have to say hi to you. And I don't have to be disrespectful. And it's also not disrespectful for me to, not engage or have a relationship with you, because I'm not hiring you for a service. Right. And it's not up to you to negate that. You know what I'm saying? Deleting DMs and going through the messages and all that stuff. Again, you're going to get that man. People are going to take that information and share it with the next person. Like, yo, listen, you don't even want to go through that because the bitch he married to is a headache. And now, you, like I said, you could have folks that are distant from that.
But is that not her having established her boundaries with her husband and saying, yo, or with her man and saying, like, yo, if you're going to have this close, personal, like Trom said, it's an intimate contact with a person, you get close with your physical trainer. This person is really pushing your limits and helping you physically, even sometimes touching you physically. So if I know that you have to build these relationships with women who are looking at you for your physique or whatever they want, nobody wants a fat trainer. I'm coming to you because I respect your physique. I want to be this image of you as a woman or whatever it may be. And say, yo, you know what? If you're gonna have established that fucking relationship with my man, or I just want basic respect, like Cream said. When I walk in a room, I speak to everybody in the room. Yeah. You're not just gonna walk into a space that I'm in and not speak to me. It can be seen, because first of all, I think women have said to me, women, ladies, I'm not saying this myself. Women can be shady towards other women, and they can tell the way that y'all hair on y'all back of y'all neck stand up when certain shit happens, and y'all be right. Like when y'all get around, a lot of times, you ever brought a chick that you was fucking around, a chick that was your girl, and for some reason she knows something ain't right about that bitch. She just be knowing something ain't right about that bitch, and you be like, yo, you bugging, in your head you like, I did not do nothing around this bitch. How does she know that I fucked this bitch? It was 17 years ago I fucked this bitch. How do you know?
But people mannerisms change.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for one, that then you're posting, a lot of the pictures that I'll be posting little captions with it, memes with my pictures I be posting, right? Liz called me, nigga, are you single? I said, no, I tagged Tanae in the picture. Like, what? She's like, yeah, but you moving singly. You moving singly. And to that, you posting videos of chicks' asses getting fat and on your stories and doing all kind of shit. You don't think that she might be feeling like that's
but that's something you need to take up with him.
So that's her establishing her boundaries.
You're in a relationship
She is
with
doing
him.
to him.
No, she's not, because she's sitting here saying, I'm going through messages, and if I don't like her, she can't be a client, this, that, and the third. She's engaging with the way I'm taking it in that short clip. I don't know if there's more to it, but the way it seems is like there's a control factor there, and it's like, if I don't run the show, it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked, are you a part of the business? Do I have to go through you to do a consultation? If not, we don't need to have no relationship. Your relationship is with one person. Now, if you trust that person, then you trust him to do his job and fulfill his job without any disrespect to you. And
Tom,
other
did you
people
feel that way?
Sorry. No, I was just saying, everybody communicates differently. Just because I'm a person that come to the room like, hey y'all, good morning. Everybody's not like that. Maybe on the opposite, you could say, hey, how you doing? I didn't meet you. You new here, this, that, and the third. And you'll be like, yeah, I'm Tahoe. I just started training with him yesterday. You'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm his wife. Nice to meet you. Need anything? You could be welcoming as well. But if you sit here like, you got to say hi to me. Bitch, I'll slap the shit out you. We're not doing all of that.
All right, see now.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You love getting Brooklyn.
I'm very sorry.
Introducing it. What do I want to say here? Because I know this bitch be in here.
You are outrageous.
Let me chill. Matter of fact, let me not even go there. Trom.
Yes.
If it's your girl, she's a physical trainer. You wouldn't have no problem with a nigga that she's training that you think is her type in some way, shape, or form? Because I would imagine that it's the ones that she thinks is his type that she has a problem with, not the big girl. Pardon me for the ladies. Not that I ain't mean that. Damn, you gotta be so sensitive now.
But that's not sensitive. But you don't know what he like.
But whatever. She ain't a big girl. So, all right. Anyway, shut
Lord
up.
have mercy.
Tahoe. Walks in, right? That you think is her type, and he just don't say nothing to you. You wouldn't feel no way?
Yeah, I would feel away.
You would feel away?
Yeah.
Why?
I'd feel a ways if she was doing real estate and a nigga walked in and didn't say something. But the difference is certain professions are a little bit more, what's the word? Are a little bit more challenging when you're in a relationship, right? Personal training being one of them, being like a promoter, nightlife promoter is another one of them. Those professions, if you're an accountant, you come home, you're probably gonna have less problems in your relationship. But if you're a personal trainer and you have to, and part of how you make your money is to show off your clients' gains and how they're getting their glutes right and shit like that, you have to have a different type of relationship. You gotta have a different type of security. So now it's a little bit more responsibility on you, right?
As the trainer?
As the trainer. Because like, yo, I'm not an accountant. The shit that I'm doing, my profession is difficult to sustain a relationship, right? So I gotta go a little bit. I remember this from my days being like a nightlife promoter. It's hard as fuck. If you really want to have a healthy relationship, that's why a lot of promoters be like, yo, I'd rather just be single because this shit is fucking difficult, right? But if you want to be a personal trainer and be in a healthy relationship, yes, you have to go above and beyond with your boundaries and make sure that your partner is respected.
Right.
And then, yeah, obviously you don't want your partner to be insecure, but you have to build them up so that they don't feel like they need to be insecure.
You really can't stop somebody else's insecurity, though.
I'm not about to build up. But if you think about it, right, like, if you think about, that's like on the flip side with me. I cater a lot of events or I do a lot of things with.
You walk in there ass fat, titties jingling. That's what you be doing?
With celebrity clients.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you was going. My bad. My bad, go ahead. With
celebrity clients that may prefer how I look. And I do, sometimes.
Dress down?
That's not what I'm no, Tahoe!
Oh, sorry. What were we saying? I'm sorry.
Men don't know how to turn their horniness off even
I'm not
when
horny.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the clients.
I might be projecting.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about right now. Lord have mercy. I was just saying that, you would have to deal, like, let's just say I was in a relationship with a guy who's quote unquote, like a regular dude or average dude, regular 9-to-5 dude.
Mediocre.
I wouldn't know. Don't say that. I mean, like a regular dude. You know what I mean? Shut up, the accountant.
This is her fat moment.
I like fat men though.
I like mediocre bitches. No, I didn't mean it that way.
Oh my God, I hate you so much. But I meant like, why would? So I'm saying, if I was dealing with somebody who's insecure, and now I'm going to the #1 draft pick of the NFL's house to cook for them, like I would not be in a relationship with somebody who's like, nah, you can't do that because I know what kind. Nah, get the fuck. I'm gonna keep on cooking, and you gonna keep on moving because this is where I'm at. I'm in this space, and I'm not gonna limit myself because you can't find.
I feel like with a man, it's easier for a woman to say that, and he got to check his shit at the door. Whereas when a woman says it, a man has to make room for her insecurities and now change the way he moves because for some reason it's just a different dynamic. When a man does it, it's like he's acting like a bitch. When a woman does it, you're not being understanding to her feelings and how she might feel. Why are you sucking your teeth continuously throughout this damn topic, lady?
Speak your mind, man.
I think that
Melly, you got a whole mic in front of you. You've been sucking your teeth. You got something to say. Now you good. Now she's fucking good.
Well,
do you understand what I'm talking
about?
Yeah,
no, I understand. And I would say that a lot of the brothers I speak to, y'all have the same experiences with women being like called names or downplaying y'all feelings. And I would just invite y'all and also invite the women to be better people. Like invite the women to be better people, right? Because I had a guy tell me like, oh, y'all can say no to sex, but when we say no to sex, we the F word and we this, that, and the third. And I was like, y'all to stop putting y'all dick in bitches that act like that. For real, because
but good dick makes chicks act like that.
No, it don't. I don't. Please, child. Anyway,
I done had nigga.
But no, seriously, women shouldn't be saying, yo, you a bitch because you feel this way. I feel like both, whoever gender, no gender, bi gender, whatever gender, should be able to say, I feel this way, and their partner should say, okay, what can I do to help you in this situation? The way I said it was because I don't care so much about a relationship where it's like, oh, like, listen, this is what I'm doing, and if you with it, you with it, you not. But
that's what she's saying. Those are the things that she said.
What do you mean?
The things that I want, if he would have asked her, what can I do to help you with the situation? Your clients have to be respectful to me. They have to understand that I am your partner. When you're not just gonna be posting mad sexy videos on your page. That's inviting to all of these other bitches to think that you're single.
I didn't get that from that video. You got that from that video, Melly?
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think you.
I'm trying.
I think you flipped, retwisted,
I be doing that.
Did a Bad Boy remix on that one because I didn't get that. I control this shit.
I think most women feel that way when they got somebody that's in the spotlight. You're not gonna act a certain way and embarrass me. So
then you shouldn't date somebody in the spotlight. There's 8 billion people in the world, and there's way more regular fellas than there are ones in the spotlight.
Facts. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know. Yeah, second part. Y'all ready to go? We're gonna cut this. Y'all want to get a drink in the meantime? Yeah. It's drink time. Yeah. Everybody, all right? Y'all want to take a stand? Y'all want to do happy fingers and shit? Happy fingers? Anybody? Happy fingers? Happy fingers? Happy fingers? Happy fingers? Happy fingers? We'll be right back. Part 2. So shameless.
That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey, I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take a girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas on. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at cheese, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, that ass be poking. I'm sitting in the front cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.